Emerging from the COVID-19, the new Omicron variants, etc., the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has imposed some temporary bans on Israel, South Korea and Malta. Subsequently, we'll be getting a lot more from the ministry for you. But let's do some politics. President Akufo Addo has touted his government's achievement since being sworn into office in 2017. The president, who was speaking at the NPP National Delegates Conference in Kumasi on Sunday, insisted his government has chalked more successes than any other government in the Fourth Republic.
Free senior high school, one district, one factory, one village, one dam, the digital agenda, all of these programs that are our flagship programs, we thought about them in opposition, so that when we came to government, we were ready to roll them out. That's why we've been able to do. I want you to ask yourselves one question. What is the one policy that the National Democratic Congress and their leader, John Dramani Mahama, have thought about in these 5 years in opposition that they have brought to the people of Ghana? One. Somebody should give me one idea that has emerged from the National Democratic Congress in these 5 years that will bring about progress from Ghana. The answer is zero, zero, and zero. Not one single idea. So what all this means? All this means is that the 2024 election is for us to lose. If we conduct ourselves well, we remain united.
So President Akufo Addo is speaking during the NPP's National Delegates Conference in the Ashanti region. But former President John Mahama has responded to President Akufo Addo in a Facebook post. So he wrote, "I think the president must take his responsibilities seriously and focus on working to change the circumstances of our people rather than the rabble-rousing skits he serves the nation." So those are excerpts of the comments by President John Mahama. He says to answer his rhetorical question on policy, if only he took a moment in the comfort of his chartered jet to read the People's Manifesto, he would have at least learned about the Big Push, which is an accelerated infrastructure plan for Ghana, the free primary healthcare plan, the 1 million jobs plan, the Ghana First framework for industrial revitalization support and transformation, and several other well thought through and costed policies. So John Mahama there responding directly to President Akufo Addo. He says he is willing to provide him with an autographed copy of the NDC's manifesto. So John Mahama says with his speech of Sunday, he has carved his niche as a good campaigner, but unfortunately a poor leader, as Ghanaians have found out at great cost. So John Mahama there responding directly to President Akufo Addo on his call for the NDC to show a policy statement that they have come up with while they've been in opposition for the last 5 years. Now, Majority Leader Osei Sabunsu has urged the NPP to explore other means to which parties in more established democracies resort to, including consensus, acclamation, persuasion, and even rotations to elect their leaders. Addressing the party's delegates conference in Kumasi, the Swama MP noted that internal elections have created factionalism over the years. He proposed that incumbent MPs should be allowed to contest the 2023 primaries unopposed.
If there is one process that often inflicts wounds on the party, it is our parliamentary primaries. We should recognize that the parliamentary party today is at a critical juncture, at a precipice, and if we don't handle the process of choosing our parliamentary candidates well, and end up losing more than one half of our sitting MPs, as we did in 2020, if we do not stop the intrigues that have started in the backyards of sitting members of parliament, even in these early days, Mr. President, there will be tragic consequences for the party in 2024. In this regard, I would want to propose to the party that the constituencies should be encouraged to the largest extent possible to adopt the incumbent members of parliament for the purpose of the next general elections, as any free-for-all election that is not guided or guarded will take over our great party. It is the reason why I reiterate the call for introspection and reflection, especially how we conduct our parliamentary primaries. Those of us herein assembled have the power to dim the light of the party and blow it apart. Which direction shall we follow? The lies, the hatred, the uncharitable deeds that we inflict on ourselves would certainly not advance the cause of this great Dankwabuzia Dombo tradition.
Dr. Seydou Alidu is a senior lecturer at the Department of Political Science of the University of Ghana. He joins me on the line. Thank you, Doc, for joining us. So, the majority leader, Seiche Mensah-Bonsu, has been on this campaign for quite some time, calling for some immunity to MPs. So they ran unopposed in the 2023 primaries. Some have said this proposal by him, if accepted by the party, could further create factionalism, which he complains about. What do you think about it?
Yeah, thank you so much for the opportunity. I think this is not the first time the majority leader is making this call. And I appreciate the perspective that he's coming from. If you go to the constituencies, the bitter and acrimonious nature in which party primaries are conducted leaves so much to be desired. And sometimes it creates a lot of confusion between the tripod. That's where especially the MC or MMDC have an interest, then the PC or the MP on the one side, and then the constituency executives.
Right.
So much bitterness that they undermine each other completely to the greater loss of the party. Yes, I agree to that particular perspective, and something has to be done to stop that bitterness. But I do respectfully disagree that MPs should be protected so that they can go unopposed for maybe a term or 2 terms or for whatever terms.
Okay.
By and large, being a member of parliament is a position of service. And when you are serving people, when you are serving a person, you are serving that person at the interest and the wish of the person that you are serving. So assuming the people decide that having done 1 term, they think you are not the type of person they had envisaged to be, and they think someone else will replace you, should you guard them for making that decision? That is completely undemocratic. Okay. I agree that we also need to protect, experienced MPs in parliament, people who have gained extensive knowledge and understand the standing orders and the constitution and can make very sound laws and pass sound laws and sort of bills into laws and make policies and all those decisions. I agree. But we also have to realize that every experienced MP now was one time a first timer in history. So if we didn't give them that opportunity to also contest and win, how would they have been able to learn the processes and become who they are today? Okay. So now, I think
the other thing, Doc, the other thing that has come up is that during the Delegates Conference, which ended yesterday in Kumasi, there was undue advantage given to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who is the Vice President, to speak at this event. Dr. Alidu,
you are serving at their interest.
Dr. Alidu, can you hear me?
They are going to take you out of the process. That is far better for an MP knowing that at least I'm protected for 2, 3, 4 terms.
Okay.
And he can misbehave. Okay. And the people can't do anything about it.
Okay. Finally, Dr. Alidu, if I may, Dr. Alidu. So some have said, for example, that at the just ended NPP conference in Kumasi, there was undue advantage given to Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to sort of market himself, for want of a better expression, as opposed to the other candidates who have already put themselves up. We know the party has not yet opened nominations for this particular role, but from your reading of events, was there any undue advantage given to Dr. Bawumia, for example?
And protected them from being contested. People who were not happy went independent. One MP was able to win as an independent candidate among them. The rest were not able to win, but they were able to divide the rank of the party. And that gave so much opportunity to the NDC to win the seats that they have been able to win, among other things that they have done as a political party. So I think they should be guided by this history and be very cautious in talking about protecting people. Other than that, our democracy will be in serious trouble.
Thank you, Dr. Ali Seydou. I'm afraid he didn't hear my second question, but thank you for joining us. He's with the Political Science Department of the University of Ghana. You're also watching Midday Live with me, Komla Adom. If you stay with us, we have more stories after this.